disagreement with the content of their speech. Location and online meeting details are available in the Human Relations Commission agenda. Use the Show Captions button to view captions on Zoom. Comments on matters not on the agenda or presentation items must be submitted prior to the time I call the item for oral communications. Comments on agenda items must be submitted prior to the time I close the public hearing on the agenda item. Speakers are requested to keep their comments to the time period set for public comments for the agenda item, which will be strictly enforced. Guidelines are posted on the city's website and on the Human Relations Commission meeting agenda. Before we start, please join me in the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, recording officer, may we please have the roll call?
Commissioner Zapata,
Present.
Commissioner Camacho,
Present.
Vice Chair Ramisetti,
Present.
Chair Sakia.
Present.
We have 4 commissioners present with Commissioner Rosenfeld absent.
And her absence is an excused absence. Yes, thank you. So let's move to the first item, which is a presentation on Know Your Rights and Overview of the Rapid Response Network, presented by the Santa Clara County Rapid Response Network. I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Disculpa. Dame un segundo. Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to do a small intro. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So yes, we have the community organization Amigos de Guadalupe participating as part of the Santa Clara County Rapid Response Network. I would like to introduce Viviana Cruz, who will be presenting in Spanish. Due to the limited time, we ask that you refrain from asking questions during this meeting and instead reach out to the organization directly for any inquiries. Okay? So, Viviana, por favor, gracias.
Muy buenas tardes, muchísimas gracias por la invitación. Es para mí realmente un placer poderles acompañar el día de hoy, contarles en qué consiste la red de respuesta rápida del Condado de Santa Clara y la importancia que tiene para la comunidad en general comunicarse con la red de respuesta rápida si por algún motivo tiene contacto con ICE o con algún agente de inmigración. Bueno, vamos a empezar con la primera diapositiva, por favor.
Can we pause 1 second? Venkat, are you able to read the translation?
Ok, la primera diapositiva, por favor. Ok, entonces, durante este periodo y hace más o menos un año, venimos trabajando fuertemente para llevar a las comunidades procesos educativos que les permitan consolidar un proceso de organización comunitaria, pero también prepararse para responder de manera adecuada cuando tenemos presencia de ICE en nuestras comunidades. De manera que este servicio que se le presta a la comunidad va enfocado en el fortalecimiento de la línea telefónica, que es el 408-290-1144, que es el número de teléfono al que nosotros queremos que la comunidad llame en caso de que tenga ese contacto con ICE. Y venimos dando talleres de Conozca tus derechos. Para nosotros es bastante importante que la comunidad sepa cómo funciona la red de respuesta rápida y qué puede esperar de ella. La red de respuesta rápida es una línea telefónica que funciona 24 horas al día, los 7 días a la semana y tiene el acompañamiento y como soporte la vinculación de varias organizaciones sociales y comunitarias que tienen fines legales. En este caso estamos hablando de Pangea, Luna, Amigos de Guadalupe, Human Agenda, CARAS, Caridades Católicas, la Oficina de Asuntos de Inmigrantes de la Ciudad de San José, el Consulado de México y la Oficina de Relaciones con Inmigrantes del Condado de Santa Clara. Sin dejar de poder compartir con ustedes hoy que el Consulado colombiano también ha venido haciendo un trabajo importante con nosotros, con la red de respuesta rápida, por lo menos con ellos tenemos un contacto directo que ayuda también a colombianos. La segunda diapositiva, por favor.
Ah, sí, bien. Te iba a decir si podrías hablar un pelín más despaciecito.
Para que puedan hacer la
Ujú.
traducción.
No, para que dé más tiempecito de leer la traducción.
Perdón, claro. Claro que sí. Gracias. Disculpen. ¿Qué es la red de respuesta rápida? Bueno, como les dije inicialmente, la red de respuesta rápida es una línea telefónica que funciona las 24 horas al día, los 7 días a la semana, pero más allá de eso, en este momento la red hace acompañamientos a las familias que están siendo víctimas o algún familiar ha sido detenido por ICE o por un agente de inmigración y está pasando por un proceso de deportación. Lo hacemos como un acompañamiento permanente durante un mes, teniendo en cuenta que las familias quedan en una situación sumamente frágil y difícil y se enfrentan a situaciones de alta vulnerabilidad. Em, la red de respuesta rápida tiene otro servicio, aparte de que cuando la persona llama y tiene una situación de emergencia con ICE, nosotros hacemos clínicas legales cada 3 meses que consisten en que tenemos un equipo de abogados de aproximadamente 15, 10, entre 10 y 15 abogados que prestan asesoría jurídica a familias que tienen procesos de inmigración pendientes o que quieren sencillamente saber si su proceso es viable y las características que tiene su proceso. Pueden llegar a catalogar para presentar un proceso, puede ser de asilo, de visa U o bueno, cualquier proceso de inmigración que de pronto les dé la oportunidad de tener un grado de legalidad en los Estados Unidos. Para nosotros también es muy importante que la comunidad sepa que todo el tiempo estamos haciendo procesos organizativos que le permite a la comunidad no solamente conocer rápidamente lo que está ocurriendo en temas de inmigración y de deportación, sino también hacer parte de esos procesos de manera organizativa. Es decir, tenemos un equipo de voluntarios que todo el tiempo están respondiendo a nuestras llamadas, observadores legales que están respondiendo a nuestras alertas y eso hace parte de que la comunidad sepa que no es un grupo de personas, un grupo de abogados o un equipo con la parte administrativa, sino también un equipo muy grande de personas que se vinculan para poder dar atención a la comunidad en casos de emergencia. Siguiente diapositiva. Y la pregunta, ¿cuándo debo de hablar a la red de respuesta rápida? Y siempre les digo que hay 4 situaciones en las que nosotros queremos que nos llamen. La primera, si ves a ICE en tu vecindario, y siempre doy el ejemplo, si salimos a la calle, si estamos en nuestra casa y abrimos la cortina y vemos que seguramente creemos que es ICE, inmediatamente se comuniquen a la red de respuesta rápida. 2, si evidentemente ICE toca la puerta y de pronto yo sé que en mi familia hay alguien que tiene una orden de deportación, queremos que la gente inmediatamente antes de abrir la puerta llame a la red de respuesta rápida, ponga en conocimiento esa situación que están viviendo y eso nos va a ayudar también a nosotros como equipo para poder enviar a los observadores legales y ayudarles en ese momento. Y si es que por última se da una captura, pues que nosotros podamos activar la red de respuesta rápida a nuestro equipo de abogados y se presente de manera inmediata esa atención con un servicio legal para poder suspender la deportación. Tercero, gracias. Si ICE detiene a un ser querido, pero también cuarto, si ICE detiene a la persona. No solamente si va a detener a un ser querido, sino me detiene a mí. Es decir, yo voy en mi carro, desafortunadamente voy en una calle, me encuentro con unas camionetas sospechosas, para mí un escenario poco común y por cualquier motivo me doy cuenta de que me están solicitando mis documentos, me están preguntando de qué nacionalidad tengo, de manera inmediata yo pueda comunicarme con la red de respuesta rápida, ya sea porque tenga la tarjeta amarilla y el número de teléfono o porque yo tenga grabado en mi teléfono el número de la red de respuesta rápida. Entonces, en esos 4 escenarios queremos que la gente se comunique con la red de respuesta rápida y de esa manera nosotros poder activar el servicio de abogados y suspender la deportación. Siguiente, por favor. Bueno, queremos compartir con ustedes imágenes importantes que les van a lograr identificar cuál sería el momento indicado para hacer una llamada a la red de respuesta rápida. Y es que encontramos que las insignias de las autoridades locales, estoy hablando de la policía de Sanibel, San José, el How Patrol, el sheriff, bueno, en general la policía y los sheriff tienen sus insignias y son una estrella. Es decir, si yo, y lo digo porque pues también nos pasa a nosotros, es difícil y un poco confuso determinar si veo un policía, tiene un chaleco, está vestido de civil, tiene una gorra, no sé si es ICE, no sé si es la policía, pues una forma de identificar y saber realmente cuál es el momento de hacer esa llamada es si yo identifico que porta una placa que es una estrella, en ese mismo momento ya voy a estar un poco más tranquilo y voy a decir, ok, todo el tiempo tenemos operativos en la ciudad que pueden ser por diferentes motivos, de manera que, ok, no voy a llamar. Pero si por el contrario veo un agente de policía con las mismas características, un chaleco negro, a lo mejor un chaleco que dice police, en ese mismo momento nosotros podamos determinar que es un agente de inmigración porque su placa es alargada, termina en punta, en la parte superior tiene un águila y seguramente dice DHS, dice ICE, HSI o tiene un escudo del Departamento de Seguridad Nacional. Eso nos podría a nosotros ayudar bastante en la identificación de cuándo podemos hacer una llamada. Pero también, ¿qué nos puede ayudar? Entonces, en la siguiente diapositiva podemos identificar los vehículos. Y vamos a encontrar que podemos encontrar vehículos sin placas, podemos encontrar vehículos con placas federales, podemos encontrar marcas de vehículos con una gran variedad. Inicialmente informamos a la gente que tenían vehículos de marca Dodge, Ford, pero ahora podemos decir que hemos encontrado que tienen una variedad en la gama de los vehículos y que usualmente sus vehículos están polarizados. Es importante aclarar que durante los últimos tiempos hemos tenido, podría decir que durante el último año e incluyendo estos 2 últimos meses hemos tenido capturas de ICE. Todo el tiempo han habido, solamente que es importante que la comunidad sepa que han sido operativos dirigidos a personas que tienen órdenes de deportación y pues que inminentemente es algo con lo que nosotros vamos a tener que seguir conviviendo debido a que hace parte pues de las órdenes federales. Siguiente diapositiva. Bueno, creo que nos vamos a saltar a la próxima. No, sí, la anterior, gracias. Ok, y queremos dejarle un mensaje importante a la comunidad. Queremos que la gente sepa que es necesario que creen un plan por si en algún momento tienen que enfrentar una situación difícil de deportación en sus familias. Queremos asegurarnos que la comunidad tenga en primera medida acceso a las tarjetas rojas. ¿Y por qué las tarjetas rojas? Porque las tarjetas rojas contienen la información de conoce tus derechos, de cuáles son los 4 derechos constitucionales, independientemente de si tienen o no un estatus regular. Entonces, es o regular o no regular, o sea, queremos que la gente sepa que tiene 4 derechos. Uno es a guardar silencio, 2, a no firmar ningún documento, a no abrir la puerta de su casa y a solicitar presencia de un abogado en el momento que lo considere pertinente hacer uso de esos derechos. Pero si por el contrario está en su vivienda y quiere entregar a los agentes de inmigración la tarjeta roja por debajo, del otro lado el agente de inmigración va a saber que esa persona conoce sus derechos y que seguramente ese procedimiento debe de hacerse a cabalidad de la mejor manera. Queremos que la gente inicie el proceso de preparar y planificar qué pasaría si una persona de la familia es capturada y por ende deportada. Con quién se quedarán sus niños, quién se hará cargo de sus propiedades. Lo más importante es que la familia tenga un espacio de comunicación y genere un plan de acción en caso de ser afectados por ICE. Por último, queremos decirles que la Red de Respuesta Rápida está sacando de manera permanente informes en su página de las redes sociales sobre lo que está ocurriendo. Y muchas personas me preguntan, ¿por qué no todo el tiempo están surgiendo las noticias? Pues para nosotros es muy importante respetar la intimidad de esa persona que está siendo capturada y no queremos que todo el mundo conozca que en la casa de la dirección tal del apartamento 3, una persona obviamente está pasando por ese momento difícil y no queremos exponer a nuestra sociedad que tras de que ya están siendo vulnerados en esa situación, pues hombre, también se vuelva un tema de que todo el mundo lo sabe. De hecho, las publicaciones que se hacen es como para poder ratificar que sí son operativos de ICE o por el contrario no lo son. Agradezco enormemente la invitación, la oportunidad de compartir con ustedes esta información, pero sé también que su liderazgo, el trabajo, ya he tenido la oportunidad de compartir con algunas de ustedes y no me queda nada más que agradecer el trabajo comunitario que ustedes hacen y la disposición que nosotros tenemos como Red de Respuesta Rápida para entregar las tarjetas rojas y amarillas si ustedes llegan a necesitar y pues para asistir en la medida de lo posible a los talleres que ustedes nos inviten con la comunidad en los horarios que ustedes consideren pertinentes. Muchísimas gracias y espero que terminen su reunión. Muchísimas gracias. Hasta luego.
Enuka, 1 second. Yes, once again, thank you, Viviana, and for your presentation. And additional information and immigration resources can be found on our City of Sunnyvale website. And to access those resources, simply search for immigration resource in the search bar to locate the webpage.
Thank you, Fernanda and Viviana, who already left. Okay, so we're not, since we can't address any questions, welcome, come join us. Okay, because now we're going to open to the public. This is the public's opportunity to address the commission on topics not listed on tonight's agenda and presentation item. This section is limited to 15 minutes and may be extended or continued after the public hearings or general business section of the meeting. Individuals may only speak once during oral communications. As a reminder, this Human Relations Commission meeting is a limited public forum and the commission can regulate the time, place, and manner of speech. Speaker comments during oral communications must be limited to matters within the commission's authority, which is known as the commission's subject matter jurisdiction. If a speaker's comments are outside of the commission's subject matter jurisdiction, the presiding officer will rule the speaker out of order. This allows the commission to conduct its business in a reasonably efficient manner and protects the rights of other speakers. A speaker will not be ruled out of order because of disagreement with the content of their speech. Please submit a speaker card to the recording officer, raise your digital hand now, or dial *9 on a phone to indicate you wish to speak. I'll call on members of the public participating in person first, followed by remote participants. Speakers will have 3 minutes to speak. Do we have anybody in person?
No, Chair, we do not.
Do we have anybody online?
No, Chair, we do not.
Okay, so I will go ahead and close oral communications then. Okay. So before we get to public comment on the consent calendar, please note that the meeting minutes of January 17th, 2025 should reflect Commissioner Rosenfeld's and Commissioner Camacho's absences as excused absences. So I will go ahead and open public comment on the consent calendar now. So same as earlier, please submit a speaker card to the recording officer, raise your digital hand now, or dial *9 on a phone to indicate you wish to speak. Do we have anybody in person?
No, Chair, we do not.
How about anybody remote?
No, we do not.
Okay, I will close public comment then, and I will ask a motion from my colleagues regarding this agenda, this consent calendar item.
I put forward a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I need a second, please.
I second.
Okay, is there any discussion or advocacy on the motion? Okay, if not, all right. Recording officer, please conduct a roll call vote.
Okay. And just to clarify, it's a motion to approve both meeting minutes.
January and February.
Okay. Commissioner Camacho,
Yes.
Commissioner Zapata,
Aye.
Vice Chair Ramasetti,
Aye.
Chair Sakia.
Aye.
The motion carries 4-0.
Thank you very much. So now let's move to our next item, which is 250270, which is the Community Needs Assessment Update. Is there a staff report?
Yes, Chair. So for the community oh, you know what? Let me just give me 1 second. So at this time, we have paused temporarily the community survey to evaluate the city's existing efforts in this area. This will help us establish a clear starting point and ensure that the survey questions are well targeted for maximum impact. Additionally, we sought guidance from the City Council on how they would like staff to approach this strategic priority, which was discussed during their strategic workshop today. We anticipate completing our internal review of current initiatives and finalizing the survey design by April, May, and this will allow us to better inform residents and gather meaningful community input. Our goal is to launch the survey by summer. That's the end of the report.
Thank you, Fernanda. Any questions from my fellow commissioners? None. Okay, I will go ahead and open public hearing on this specific item. Recording officer, do we have anybody in person or online?
No, Chair, we do not have anybody in person nor online.
Okay, let's skip past that then. I will close public hearing on this. Thank you for the update, Fernanda. And now we'll move to our next item, which is 250271, which is the overview of our first signature event, which is Allies in Training, Building a Better Community, and what the commission's role will be. Is there a staff report, Fernanda?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, wonderful.
So the community event, Allies in Training, Building a Better Community, will take place on Friday, June 13, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We are proud to partner with Services Never Sleeps, a nonprofit organization dedicated to tireless action towards social justice. The commissioner's role is to promote the event within the community by selecting at least 3 groups they are affiliated with or interested in. Please be prepared to provide a report at the next HRC meeting. We will be providing you with marketing material for the event in the next few weeks. And I'm here also to answer any questions for you. There is also the possibility of hosting a second event that we're still kind of designing at this point. And for that, we hope to have a little bit more information for you in the next month's meeting.
Thank you, Fernanda. So would it be okay if I just ask my colleagues, A, do you have questions? B, are we clear on what our requested role is in this, for this event? Let me start with questions first.
Fernanda, I have a question. What do you mean with groups? Like how many people? Like they have to be community leaders, or they have to be nonprofit organization or PTA.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
Clarify
so this training, this allyship training is similar to the allyship training that we did last year, although the one last year was a 2-day, it was an intensive training. This year, what we want to do is something a lot more doable for the community, where we have, is going to be kind of like the support for future events that the city is going to do. As you all know, we have been working on immigration as a theme. We also discussed having something related to multi-diverse families or multi-heritage families, as well as homelessness as an issue. I definitely encourage you to watch today's council meeting discussion, because a lot of these topics were discussed by the council members. And I think it will give you a good framework for what the city is looking forward to do in the next few months. But going back to the event that we did last year, what we want to do is something that is not as long, but is meaningful. And for that, the city is going to put enough effort to bring back Whitney, which I know some of you participated, and she had, really good marks in the survey that we did afterwards. And the idea will be to have more folks participate. We are going to do a campaign here in the city to have more employees join us, but we want the community to have the benefit of the expertise that this speaker is going to bring, as well as give us the support for the theme of allyship, right? Because if you remember, we discussed the claim model, and I think it's so important to have really clear what that model entails, especially when we go out and advocate, or we participate or involve the community in any sort of theme. Could be immigration, could be bullying, could be all the themes that you have actually put forward. So the idea will be for, I know you are all very involved in the community. So the idea will be to maybe have a conversation with some of the groups that you know. It doesn't have to be super formal, but it's I'm thinking that if you have, let's say, like in my case, I have a running group, for example, and I know that some of them, the majority or some of them are interested in this type of topics, or things that is affecting their community, that they're thinking about mobilizing, or just in general, do you want to do a better ally at work for your colleagues? Then I can have an informal conversation with them and say, hey, we're preparing this event in June, and we start kind of like, putting the seed out there that this event is coming, and we're not going to be kind of like rushing in the marketing at the end, like just having a month to disseminate the information, for example. I know that the Promotoras is another group. I know that people that actually attend, I don't know, events in the Sunnyvale Community Services, they can also learn about it, or folks in the high schools where Venkat is at. And also, I know Venkat is part of like the robotics team and things like that. I feel that, with all this stuff that is happening on AI and the different spaces where we're looking for allies in our different communities, that will be a great space to bring this up. I also am part of, these the Fremont High School that Paulina and I are also part of. So involving like the Los Padres Network, Las Madres Network. And so that's kind of like the ask that I'm asking from you, just so we amplify the message, we prepare better, and at the same time, we get bigger and better participation for our future events.
What's our target participation, Fernanda?
I don't have a target per se. I don't have like, oh, I expect to see 100 people, but I will say that definitely better than last year. I think our target last year, or not our target, but the number of people that participated were around 30. But remember that it was a 2-day and it was 6 hours. So it's actually 8 hours. It was fairly intense. So I'm just anything above that, but it is going to be hybrid because she is located in the East Coast, and that's why the time that we set up, it was 2:00. So just to make sure that it was not too late for Whitney. And at the same time, since it's hybrid, we don't have a limit, so it's free. People can join from their, from their homes, from work, from, a coffee shop. And so, yeah, and you're going to get great resources. And if you participated, and you can actually, I know Esther was part of that. I think Nanuka do too. And it's a good training.
I'll ask another question.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility, Fernanda, of we have the hybrid element, the virtual element of it, but then also we have maybe one room where people can come together? Because I feel like part of why people like the events is it's a chance to meet people in the community.
Absolutely.
So we could arrange for that.
This
Like, we could
room
use
is set
this
up for
room.
this. Yeah, we can do it here.
Okay. Because I think that would be a better draw, actually.
Yeah. It's interesting because I was watching a presentation yesterday on AI, and one of the feedback that one of my takeaways was that people were saying how much participation, or is the participation better when the event is hybrid or virtual or in person, and definitely in person is better than is virtual, and the last one was hybrid because you don't get a lot of you're not completely engaged in the people in the room and completely engaged in the people online. But I feel that for us can work because we can actually have the another opportunity for people to come in to City Hall.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So the four of us were clear. The ask is for us to find at least 3 groups for us to be able to market this, and Fernanda will supply us with marketing materials, but start planting the seeds, right?
Yeah. So if you're gonna start
Okay.
talking about it, definitely will be better until we get our the art and the marketing and all that. But the date is set, the time is set, and we'll definitely look into this room for a hybrid meeting. Yeah, Paulina.
Very cool question. Would it be possible to get maybe an email with more information and details? So we have this month to share the information with the groups that we want to invite. And that way, for the next meeting, we already have like their confirmation.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
I can share an email with you by tomorrow. At the latest Monday.
Thank you, Fernanda. If there's nothing else, I will go ahead and open the public hearing on this specific item. Recording officer, do we have anybody in person? Oh, I'm so sorry. One last question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Quick question. So this training is going to be just in English, or we're going to use Wordly too?
We're going to be using Wordly.
Okay,
The
great.
presentation will be in English.
Thanks.
Great question. Thank you. Okay, recording officer, I'm opening public hearing on this specific item. Do we have anybody first in person or remote who would like to speak on this?
We do not have anybody in person. However, we do have somebody remote.
Okay, person who is remote, you will have 3 minutes to speak, please. Remote speakers are warned to limit their comments to the agenda item being considered, and speakers who are ruled out of order will not be given another chance to speak on this item. So again, this is for agenda item 250271, which is the overview of the first signature event theme allies in training.
Sorry, could you just give me 1 second?
No, no worries.
We have Sam.
Hi there. I work for We Hope as an outreach case manager, and I'm sorry I missed a meeting earlier today. I was out in the field, but I wanted to address something, which is that I just wanted to make sure with the update. It just seems to me like seniors has still not been a priority, despite the fact that the initiative said that seniors would be a priority. And I don't really see it.
Oh.
So I guess my question
This is not part of the agenda item that we were talking about. I thought you were gonna bring to seniors also need allies. I thought that's where you're gonna go with this. So this is not related to the agenda item. We
I'm
needed.
sorry, I guess I
the
didn't
beginning.
understand.
It's okay. Is there anybody else, recording officer?
We do not have anybody else for this
Okay.
item.
I'll go ahead and close public hearing on this item then. Okay, so the next portion of the agenda is for oral reports and announcement by commissioners and staff to share information. I'll start with the commissioners. Do commissioners have any non-agenda items or comments to raise? None. Okay, staff, do we have any non-agenda items or comments?
Only one, since we had a presenter speaking Spanish today, I will be sending a survey about on Worley. So if you can actually give me your feedback, that will be great.
Thank you. We will. With that, the meeting is adjourned at 7:51 p.m. And I want to thank everyone for participation in tonight's meeting.